you must have milk. Not breast milk, milk.
Double H. Double H. Double H. Double H. Double H. Double H.
Guys, it's the kid, it's the kid, it's the kid. We're back in here for another cooking session. Right now we're going to be doing pancakes, baby. We're going to be doing that cake pan, man, because pancakes, that's one of my favorite meals of all time. And while we're doing pancakes, we're going to have a little discussion about eye test versus stats. Eye test versus stats. But let's just get this all going. So normally 3 eggs is what you sort of need. That's what you normally need. But you know what? I'm going to be going a little bit crazy. I'm going to go for 4 eggs, maybe even 5. Because for me, I just think it's about taste. And I think the more eggs you have, the better. So really, the key ingredients are obviously eggs, free-range eggs, sugar, very important. And this is key, self-raising flour. It's very key. Because plain flour isn't conducive for cakes or pancakes. You need to have specifically self-raising flour, and this brand is probably the best brand that I will use to make dough. So self-raising flour is the key thing you need to make your proper pancakes. So, and of course, a bowl just to mix everything in. All right. So that's a good point. And then of course you've got your spoon there. Now this is going to be tricky because normally I would need a bigger spoon. But it is what it is. We'll just have to make do with what we have. Alright, so let's get cracking. So first of all, let's just crack these eggs right now. So I might use 5. Don't judge me, I might use 5. So I think it's always useful to have a little bit of a rubbish in there. So crack cocaine. Simple as pecan pie. Boom. So when it also there's not how to crack an eggs, man. Just just have to be gentle. Make sure you don't get any shells in there. Boom, got 2. Your boy says 3. Boom, that's right. Your boy says 4. What? See what I'm saying? Your boy says 4. Your boy says 4. Just bring this in like this. Boy says 4. Boom. And I think your boy might say 5. Let me go to my secret stash. Oopsie daisy. Five eggs. Beautiful. So just wash the hands, keep those hands nice and washed. Nice. Dry those hands. Okay. So now that we have that, let's whisk away. Yeah, let's whisk away. Yeah, whisk away. See, it's been a while since I've done pancakes. I'm just trying to remember the regime. So whisk away. I remember this is very, very important. They just make sure this is nice and whisked. 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 So once we do that, we shove it into our bowl. Like so. Next thing that we need to do is I think I need it. I would be better if I had a whisker. So I don't have the proper utensils because really what you need is a whisker. But you know what? What's my name? Well, I know right now it's Half Reality, but my normal name is Half Hope. So all we need to do is just have hope that I can ride. So the key thing here is texture. The key thing here is texture. And it's all about having the right amount of texture so that you get the right amount. Oh, almost forgot another key ingredient, very key, is milk. This is another very, very key in I almost forgot, guys. This is very key. Don't forget, you must have milk. You must have milk. Not breast milk, milk. There we go. Boom. So what you need here is texture, and I'll tell you in a minute. Let me just mix it through how to judge that you have enough. You see, as of right now, it's very loose. Because if we pick this up like so, okay, let me just, okay, there we go. Look at that. Very loose. So because it's so very loose, we need to have more flour to add, because what we want to add thickness and depth. We want to add thickness and depth. And by doing that, it's all about balancing the flour and the milk. So you have to have the right balance of flour and milk so that it's not too thick and it's not too watery. So we can almost get that nice pancake style. So let's whisk this through. And the thing with whisk, it's a flickage. See, I can really tell that I may need more flour, but let's just whisk this through. Let's just get all this stuff through. There we go. Whisk. You see, we're almost getting there. I can even smell it. Almost getting there. Keep whisking. Don't worry, we will talk about it, because I think as we put more flour in, the raging debate is of eye test versus stats. What is more important? And I think it's a great debate. And I think what I've learned in the past few years or so is the generational gap between obviously my younger viewers and viewers of my generation or older. Because I think dude called Wise One, I think he's like a lot older than me. He sometimes on the Hangout. And I think, it is a generational thing of eye test. Okay, we're almost getting there. Ooh, I can feel it now. We're definitely getting there. Eye test and stats of what is really important and what is the key thing. And what are the benefits of both? Because stats are stats. You cannot argue with mathematics. 1 + 1 = 2. There is no argument there. It is a plain fact. Whereas the eye test is more subjective, and it's in the eye of the beholder. But with mathematics or numbers, there is no subjectivity there. It is plain facts for all to see. Okay, guys, we're not getting there. So if you can see, so to check the texture again, we use our spoon. Call this the good old spoon test. We're almost getting there. I would just like a little bit more, because see, the key thing here is how it drops down. You want it to drop down with a bit of thickness. You see? Remember last time it was a very, very watery, but now it's a bit thicker now. But I would just like a little bit of thickness. Because it depends. See, if you like your pancakes French style, then maybe you want it to be looser. But if you like it American style, then you definitely want it to be thicker. So, but I like to have both. My pancakes are a cross between the two. So let's just add a little bit more flour and mix and whisk that again. All right, let's just ride. Oopsies. Oh, you see. Not to worry. Okay, yes, we're not getting there. Oh, yes, we're getting there. So yeah, because you take a striker, for example, he's judged based on his numbers. It's about how many goals did you get, did you break the 30-goal barrier? What is your goal ratio? Is it a goal every game, a goal every other game, or in Jose Altidor's case, a goal every millennium? So, oh my gosh. But then, Is that all there is to for football? Your numbers. Does nothing that you do on the pitch that can be equated by numbers do anything towards you? Okay. Ooh, guys, we are. Ooh. I think we're in. We might need a little bit more milk. Oh my God, that is beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. All right. Let me just put that there like so. And check this out. Check this out. So that is, guys, look at that. That is pretty much what we need. I don't think, you know what? Just to be crazy. Just to be crazy. Don't judge it, just to be crazy. A dash of milk. Just a dash of milk. Boom, that's it. That's just to be crazy. Just to be crazy. So now just the key thing now just is to whisk it, just ensure that we don't have any lingering flour around. So look at that. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, damn. That's what you need. Ooh. Beautiful. I think we're in. Okay, we're in. So the next thing that we then need, sugar. What I like to call this the two coat technique, the 2-coat snack, which is that you just cover the base in sugar once and you do it again. So I'll show you. Evenly all across. So you can see there, just evenly all across, and you whisk it in. This is very important because this is the taste. Because here you can have sugar and jam, but you want the base taste so you can cook it in. All right, and then one last time. Again, evenly across. Like so, evenly across. And then we then whisk. The whisks and like so. So remember, this is very important that this is about texture. This is the texture you want for your thing. See? And we're back, man, and we're back. So we have ourselves the pan. And the key thing, okay, I think we're getting quite warm here, is sprinkle it with a bit of oil just to set in the flow to begin with, and then you then go through. My oil of choice, I don't know whether you guys have it where you are in the States or in Canada or in the Caribbean or West Africa, anywhere, or in Europe. Filippo Berrio. You know, these are my things of choice. So this is just for seasoning, the Filippo Berrio extra virgin olive oil, and this is for cooking. Filippo Berrio Classico. Shout out to Robert Gallo, man. You Italians, you know how to write, man. Italians know how to write, man. So, boom. So we now have our thingy here. Let me actually just sort of point you in this direction. Here we go. So we then do, so it's nice and whisked. You probably need like a bigger spoon. So yeah, you definitely need a bigger spoon. So you just put it through like this. So again, I don't really have a bigger spoon with me. But once, if you had a bigger spoon, you'd then be able to really get the right texture here. But so ideally you want a bigger spoon, specifically that has a lot of depth. So you can then get the right thing. So I have to just keep in mind, this isn't the spoon you should be using. This is just a normal tablespoon, but I don't have a thingy spoon with me. So you just sort of whisk it away, and you allow that to simmer in. Hopefully that should be cool. So yeah, man. So look, eye test versus stats. You see, a goal is a goal. A goal is a goal. 100%. I'll get to assist. A goal is a goal. You know, a guy who scored 30 goals, he put the ball inside the back of the net. But there are some goals that are more valuable than other goals. There are winning goals. A goal in open play is more valuable than a penalty, because any player that takes a penalty, you have an 85 to 90% chance of scoring. Whereas in the open play of a game, you maybe have for most players have maybe a 40 to 50%, maybe 30 to 40. So if you're a quality striker, you maybe have like a 60 to 70% chance of scoring in a game. If you're a quality, maybe 70 to 80. But if it's a penalty, it's a 95% chance, maybe even higher, for a top striker. So it is more valuable of you scoring a goal in open play than it is a penalty. But then you can say, oh, you can view all these things in the stats of game winners. So basically you can view some game winners, penalties, and so forth. But what stats don't tell you are the type of goals that you score. A 40-yarder is more valuable than a tap-in. That is a better goal. You're showing a greater degree of skill, of technical ability and quality if you could score a goal from 40 yards rather than scoring a tap-in. If you dribble past 4, 5, 6 players by yourself and chip the keeper, that is more valuable than a header from 3 yards out. You know, if you can, a bicycle kick is more valuable than a 1v1. You know, so, or a 1v1 where you just hit the ball past the keeper is less valuable than a 1v1 where you go past and you go around and you dribble the keeper, as R9 did in the UEFA Cup. So it's like Cristiano's overhead kick is more valuable than most of Van Nistelrooy's goals. You know, like Messi's goals that he was scoring where he was chipping the keeper and doing all this crazy kinds of stuff are more valuable than the goals that, let's say, a Mario Gomez would be scoring. So that is how you can then decide, well, okay, yeah, you've scored all these goals, but this player is better because his goals show a greater degree of skill. And those are only things that you can understand through the eye test. I've already said before. Let's just see how this is doing. So you see, because you have to be careful when this. Okay, yeah, we're still good. So the next thing now is you now look at the assists. I would say that assists is one of the most overrated statistics, because it's, for me, I don't count an assist if I give you a basic pass. I give you a basic pass, you dribble past 4, 5 guys and so forth. That means not an assist. For me, an assist is a through ball. Is a pass that is so good, it gives you a greater chance to score. A pass that splits the defense and puts you in a 1v1 situation. So without that pass, you wouldn't have a higher degree of scoring. But if I'm just giving you a literal basic pass that any 2-year-old can do, and you have to do much of the legwork to try and get that goal, how do I get that assist? But then again, it now goes to the eye test, because only the eye test can show that, that assist is more valuable than that other assist. No, like Pirlo's through ball to Grosso, Riquelme's through ball to Saviola, most of David Beckham's crosses, because David Beckham, again, I call the guy one of the most overrated dudes of all time. Most of his assists were just because he is arguably the greatest crosser of the ball that we've ever seen. So I don't understand the use of soft stats and the use of numbers and so forth. But what I always say is that I love the NBA. Basketball is my second favorite sport, because boxing has been basketball has been my second favorite sport for pretty much since the 90s. Well, second, third. No, it's been. Well, no, No, back in the 90s, it used to be athletics. It used to be Olympics athletics, but now it's not NBA. And the NBA is about numbers. It's heavily about about numbers. And whenever you see Stephen A. Smith and this guy's going to it, I'm like, it is what it is. It's about points per game, your three points percentage, 2 points percentage. And I find that stuff fascinating. It's different, but I find it fascinating, but that works for the NBA and how Americans view sports. Football is different. And when you see guys who sort of start to analyze the game, they don't rely on those numbers. Like Alan Hansen, who one of the greatest analysts ever, who used to be on Match of the Day, he wouldn't come and just say, "Oh, this guy did these numbers." He would put up the screen, the TV screen, and just say, "Boom, look at what he did there," because it's visual. He's using a visual aid, and for me, that is just where football is at its best, where we're looking at the pitch and we're saying, all right, this is when this dude went here, this is when this dude went over here, this is how he did this. And that for me is far more fascinating. It's far more interesting to me than anything else. It's far more interesting to me than anything else. And I think that is where you can enjoy football the most. But I have, again, look, whenever people just say, "Yo, bring up his numbers, bring up his stats," you can't ignore them. Lewandowski's numbers, it's amazing viewing that, because for me, I always view Lewandowski based on what he does on the pitch. I'm like, his ball control, his footballing brain, he just reminds me of R9, because I'm like, he's just got a great footballing ability, and I think that's always exciting to have that as a striker who most people just viewed as finishers. But on the flip side, it is interesting to say, oh my gosh, look at how many games this guy's played. Look how many goals he has scored. He has now scored more goals than games he's played in. When I looked at Cristiano's thing, his career for Real Madrid, that is amazing. He scored more goals than games he played in. Same thing with Gerd Müller. I think Gerd Müller for Germany scored more goals than games he played in. So that in itself is fascinating, because anybody who's played football will know. See, watching football is also one thing. When you've played football, the beauty about football is that it's a very difficult game. Because I think it's funny, because when I was watching the last time, it's funny what Dennis Rodman was saying with regards to basketball. Wait, let me just... Yeah, it's just funny what he was saying. Actually, maybe we need to put this up to 4. Let's put this up to 4. So, Rodman said basketball is a very easy game. It's a very easy game on the basis of to not get to the top and so forth. It requires a bit more work, but on the basis it's an easy game. That's not diminishing the quality of a LeBron, a Jordan, an Iverson, and a Penny Hardaway, and so forth. Because look, those guys are still amazing athletes. But I do feel like on the basis, basketball is an easy game. The beauty about football is that football is a very difficult game. It's a very difficult game, and I think the key thing is because we use our hands every single time. We use our hands all day. We use our, like the saying goes, I know this thing like the back of my hand, because we use our hands and we look at our hands so much. But we don't use our feet that much. We don't use our feet for writing. So there's more precision we can have with our hands with regards to throwing, writing, drawing, locking things and everything. But with our feet, all we really do is for walking and everything. So when you now take into account for football and the technicalities of football, it's 10v10. You don't really have that much time on the ball. That is what makes football the greatest sport in the world, because the rules and everything and the framework makes us enjoy it. So, and scoring a goal is a very difficult thing. Scoring a goal is a very difficult thing. Even if you're in a team where you're a much better team than the other team, scoring a goal is still hard. Now, imagine if you're two guys who are at a high level, it's very hard to score a goal. So that's why I say that, yes, I value a volley or an overhead kick or a solo goal over a tap-in. But that tap-in is still hard. Because if you've played for football, The tapping is just at the end. The work before that tapping is the real sexiness of anticipation. Where are the defense? What's run? How am I running? What is my diagonal into the space? My movement, the timing of my movements, and then the finish. So the tap in isn't what's money. What's money is all the stuff that comes before the tapping. So scoring a goal is still something to champion, whether it's a tap in or not. So even if you look at a Gerd Muller and you're like, okay, you scored all these goals. You scored all these goals. Yeah, you scored all these goals. Cool story, bro. Okay, yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there now. Yeah, you scored all these goals. That's all cool. But most of your goals were tap-ins. You didn't score any true quality goals. But that's not what it's about. And the flip side is you have to understand the difficulty of football and how difficult it is to score goals. Because unlike the NBA where, okay, you had 20, 30 points, which is still impressive, but, basketball is about score. The reason why we cheer and we go crazy whenever a goal is scored is because it's so hard to score a goal. And what do I always champion? Degree of difficulty. Football is a difficult game. I would argue that football, I think we're almost getting there. I mean, once we turn over, okay, a little bit more before we turn this over. Yeah, I would argue that because golf is pretty difficult. Golf is pretty difficult because golf requires a lot. I'm not a fan of golf, but still, golf requires a lot of technique. But I would argue that football might be the most difficult game because of, you see, football has the physicality which golf doesn't have. And I just think that when you play football, there is just, again, and also golf, you're using your hands. You're still using your hands, what your adepts are doing. So because football, you're using your feet, there's so many players on the pitch, it's such a wide pitch, and there's so many variables involved. That is just that's why we like it so much. Whenever I say the degree of difficulty, people who succeed through a more difficult scenario are greater than those who succeed through an easier scenario. So those guys who are scoring crazy amounts of goals and everything, we need to say what's up, because what they've done is very difficult. Because to score one goal in a high level game is hard. To score 3 goals is crazy. So to score a huge amount of goals where you are playing at the very highest level, that is very hard. But going back to this whole eye test and stats thing is, I don't want people, which is why I always wanted, what I've been trying to tutor you guys and everything through all the years of my post-match thing is, we all love for football here. Like, once we share, okay, I think it's now time to turn this over. So, look at that. There you go. So I have this on a 4 right now. I might have to put this on a 5 heating. So normally your heating things are from 1 to 6. I started at a 3, so I would recommend either using a 4 or a 5 heat if you're doing this whole pancake thing. So as you can see, hey, look at that! Ooh, look at that pancake thing. Oh, look at that! That is it. I was a finger bitty, man, finger bitty. So, what was I saying? Gosh, I even forgot what the hell I was even saying. So we share a love of football here. I think that is what has brought us together over these 10 years that I've been doing this and we've been doing this stuff. So what I always just say to my pre-match and my post-match analysis is that's why whenever I do my post-match analysis, I'm not referencing any. I don't look at the statistics. I don't look at how much possession did these guys have, how much did this guy run, or all that other kind of stuff. Like for me, it's subliminal because I watch a game and I try not to be too detailed because sometimes I'm like, okay, let me just look at it. I'm saying, no. But no, because for me, it's just washes over me. And after I see the game, my brain, because I trying to tell a story. I try to tell a story with my post-match analysis. So once I see the game, I'm like, there are a lot of details here, but I can't bore down the audience with all these details. I just have to just take it in and just be like, all right, I have it. Let me now project the story amongst the people. And I think that for me makes for a more fascinating conversation. Oh, okay, yeah, I think we're good now. Yeah, that makes for a much more fascinating conversation as opposed to me just doing numbers. So again, let's write this again with let's just do another pancake crack. And see now this time in this pancake crack, you don't need to use any oil because I just use oil just to say what's up. Literally, that's use of first oil is just to keep the pan nice and wet. And remember to also, this is another important thing, get a non-stick pan. That is very key to get a non-stick pan. So, but please, this isn't the spoon you use. This isn't the spoon you use. Please. All you need to do is use a nice big spoon. A nice big spoon. So that you can then get the thing that you want precisely. See, because once you use a nice big spoon, all you need is just one spoonful. But because this is a brick spoon that I'm using, I need to, there's a lot more required of this. All right. So just to sort of round this off, and then I'll just finish off of the pancakes. So there you go, look at that. But I want to show you a nice, so this is just like the first batch. You see? All right, you probably need a little bit more. I want to show you guys this batch when I use this batch now. Woo! Look at that. That is the thing on beauty. Yeah, there you go. See, now we're getting there. See, that first batch is just a thinking batch now. This is the real one. So it's all about telling a story. That is what it's about. It is all about telling a fascinating story with regards to football. You know, because I want people. Oh yeah. This is this is it. This is. I mean, I'm going to show this to you. Check this out. See that? That pancake is what we need. Actually, I'm even thinking to you. Actually, scratch what I said. Maybe you don't even need oil. Maybe you don't even need oil to begin with, because the use of oil is if you don't have a non-stick pan. But if you have a non-stick pan, you don't need oil. You don't need oil. Because see, when my mom taught me how to make this, she was using oil. But I sort of have advanced from my mom and be like, nah, mother. Oh, guys, look at that, guys. Now that's tier one. That's tier one right there. Let me do another one for you guys. So it's about painting a picture and a story. And what I want to try and get my younger viewers to do is watch the game. Because don't get bogged down in, oh gosh, this guy has 330, he's got this, he has 200 man of the match awards, he's got, oh, he has 500 assists this season. No. Because that again ruins the beauty and the fun and the conversation of football. Because what makes football truly amazing, not only to watch, but to talk about, are those things that you can view Because again, do numbers and stats show you how Maradona dribbled past all those dudes? Do numbers or stats show you how Gareth Bale executed that overhead kick, or how Zidane did that volley, how Cristiano did that goal, or how Robin took down Spain and the way that he took down Spain? Does it show you that? Does it show you Pirlo's amazing through balls, Riquelme's amazing through balls? It doesn't show you. Like, how do numbers explain a Juan Roman Riquelme? How does it explain a Quaresma? How does it explain a Bart Simpson, aka Lamb? You know, these are things that you have to watch. Which is why I want to even do more of these watch parties where let's just admire what these players can do. Oh, damn. All right, you know what? I think we should put this down on a 3. Oh, beautiful. Let's put this down on a 3. So yeah, so use a 3 or a 4. Use a 3 or a 4 for the setting. We're on 23 minutes right now. So yeah, so the key thing I want to really apply to you guys is it's all about balance. Numbers are important, but only use numbers for an extent. And this is why I think about that. The key to life is balance. Do not let the pendulum swing too much in one way. I know that I have maybe been guilty of being too much of an eye test merchant, where, you know, look at the numbers. Because as they say, numbers don't lie. Or do they? You know, but more times than not, numbers don't lie. You know, because numbers are telling an important truth. So, let me just, because I want to do a really good pancake batch for you, so you guys can see what a guana. Oh wait, let me just do this. There we go. There we go. Just trying to make a nice little. I tell you, pancakes, man, they're nice and they're healthy, man. They're nice and they're healthy. All right, beautiful. You know, so that's the thing, man, is the key thing is the balance. Of course, numbers are important because it's good to see, because numbers show effectiveness, output, you know, because whenever you're like a manager and a coach, you want productivity. But football is more, the beauty about football is that it's more complicated. It's more complicated than just numbers. And that's why we like it so much, that there are things that players do in a game that punches up for joy. You cannot tell me that you don't enjoy when you see an amazingly executed tackle, which can't be shown on numbers, because numbers will just say, oh, that guy completed a tackle. But numbers can't tell you how he tackled him. Like that tackle, the tackle that Nesta had on Messi, or the tackle that Lam had on Marcelo, these things can't be explained by numbers. You have to watch. You know, you have to watch. You know, so, and if you don't watch, you will pretty much never know. Yes, the kid. And look, I think, you know what? Low heat. Your pancake should be looking like this. Check this out. That is how your pancake should be looking. So what you want is low heat. 2. But a trick is you want it to be hot enough so it says what's up. So try and go for between a 2 or a 3. And the key thing is when you flip it over. The key thing is when you flip it over. So let me just show you, boy. So it is very important that it has a light brown color. That is very key. You want it to have a light brown color. Let me show you, boy. Let me show you, boy. Let me show you, boy. Let me show you, boy, right now. Key thing is you want that nice, beautiful, sexy, alluring, light brown color. That is what you want. That is what you want to be nice and cool. to be nice and cool. All right. So as you're doing this, check this out. You want to be constantly checking. Because you want that light brown color to say what's up. Okay, you see? We're almost done. So, and it's always very key and important. Oh, look at that. I think we're even almost good now. Boom. Look at that. The lighter it is, the better. We don't need to be too light, but the lighter it is, the better. So you want to constantly be checking, because you don't want to leave it on the pan for too long, because then it will just go dark brown. So you see, you want that texture. That's what you want. You want that texture to say what's up. And that is so the key thing is low heat, because it is better to wait for some time for it to cook rather than for it to cook for a short time and it's being burnt. You do not want a burnt pancake, believe me, man, because that's not how we roll. That's not how we roll in Pancake City, man. I'm sorry. All right. So just in closing, the eye test is the beauty about football. Stats are needed. Stats and numbers are needed because you need stats and numbers to tell the full picture. But I think the beauty of football is sitting down and watching things that cannot be explained by numbers. That can only be explained by our human intuition and our human intelligence. And that's just what makes us, cool as human beings. They're just things that are more intangible and are just beyond the rudimentary, rigid parameters that are numbers. And are just the grace of a player, the manner of a tackle, the manner and the technique of a pass, the technique and the strategy of how a guy goes about getting past players or shooting the ball, or a guy goes about saving a shot. The way, speaking, a goal is a goal, but a type of goal is different. A pass is a pass. Sorry, a through ball is a through ball, but the type of through ball, is it outside of the foot? Is it a chip? Is it a dummy? These are all things that can only be seen and appreciated by watching the game and having the eye test. So stats are important, but eye test is the essence of football. I'll see you next time on Cooking with your boy HH. Stay real, stay true, and stay black. Become a Football Hut member and gain access to cool emojis on the live streams and get access to new YouTube content by clicking the join button here. And to view that new content, head over to the YouTube channel homepage and click on the community tab over here.